You can't make this stuff up. Time Magazine has named Dragon Age The Veilguard the best game of 2024. Now, you automatically know that the people at Time did not play any video games because this is absolutely ridiculous. This article was written by my good friend at Minimal Effort Games, a wonderful YouTube channel, so go check them out, my friends. And it's on our Fandom Pulse Substack, which is also in the description below. My name is John Delarose. I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe button here as we talk about all things in games, especially with what's going on with stuff like fantasy settings like Dragon Age The Veilguard. I'm a fantasy writer myself, and I have a wonderful setting in The Adventures of Baron von Monocle. I give you a book in this for signing up for my newsletter. I give you a fantasy book, a science fiction book, and a superhero graphic novel, all for being on here. This is in the description below. I hope you'll join all the 7,000 people on here. Thank you so much, of course, for joining us. We are just getting started. I'm a very prolific writer, so we can have a lot of fun together and connect. And, of course, I love to hear from people like you on the list. I had some great emails over the weekend. Thank you guys for saying hi. I love connecting with everybody on here. Grab this in the description below. Sign up. And don't miss anything that's going on in the world here. It's a lot of fun. All right, so this is crazy. Time Magazine has done the unthinkable in gaming, named Dragon Age The Veilguard the best game of 2024. Oh, so stunning and brave, my friends. We know that the 2024 Game Awards have come and gone, but the backlash stemming from several controversial snubs is far from over. The wildly popular Black Myth Wukong won the Player's Voice Award despite losing out on Game of the Year to Sony exclusive Astrobot. Stellar Blade, another massive Sony exclusive, was left off of several categories entirely, was eventually defeated by Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in Best Score in Music category. As such, it became exceedingly clear the majority of gamers and the gap between actual gamers and those in the game media has never been wider. Interesting on this level. What do you guys think? Did any of this stuff deserve Game of the Year? I'd love to hear from you on that. What is your Game of the Year? Definitely let me know because we want to cover more of this. In a move that seemed like an obvious attempt to incite outrage, Time now released their 10 best video games of the year, 1 week ahead of the Game Awards, with extremely questionable selections making it onto the list. The entire lists are ranked as follows. Number 1, Dragon Age The Veilguard. And you know that Time Magazine is doing this because of all the weird gender ideology, pronouns, and all this crap in it. That's what they want to throw in there. Astrobot, number 2, not bad. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I actually love Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, my friends. Silent Hill 2, a remake. And look at how many remakes are on here. This is pretty interesting. 3 and 4 remakes. Neva, Alan Wake 2, Black Myth Wukong now then hits number 7. This is a weird one. Star Wars Outlaws? What the hell? I don't think anybody likes that game. Another one that died on the vine. Very, very odd that they'd put that on there. I'm surprised they didn't put Conquered on there at this level. My gosh. So it's almost impossible to discern what Simon was thinking. There were 2 Alan Wake downloadable contents that shared the number 6 spot, but no inclusion of Shadows of Erdtree, the downloadable content for the 2022 Game of the Year winner, Elden Ring. Alan Wake 2 is a title famously connected to DEI Consulting from Sweet Baby Inc., and as of right now has yet to make a profit. It seems like, to me, what I'm seeing here and what I think is the case here is I think Time Magazine was paid to run a piece here because this happens a lot in the media. If you don't know this, you get a lot of questions, comments, asking people to promote your work. Even at my level, with just 50,000 subscribers here, I get emails almost every day asking for a video promoting a product or like whatever, and they offer me to pay me sometimes $200-$300, which is honestly more than I'd make on a video if I did so. So you know that a place like Time Magazine, these companies and their PR representatives are going out there and saying, hey, will you put Dragon Age as Game of the Year? We'll pay you $1,000, $2,000, maybe $10,000 just for that kind of publicity because they're starved for positive publicity at this point. If you don't know what's happened with Dragon Age, of course, all the media outlets were saying it was going to be the best thing ever when it came out. Then once the game was actually played, they all walked it back because Dragon Age was such a disaster on every single level. It didn't do honor to the Dragon Age setting. It didn't do anything with the characters. Of course, they moved on to these new woke characters. There were no real choices within the game. You're kind of just stuck in this like woke narrative where like all the brown ladies and the lesbian ladies and whatever are good and all the white males are bad. It was totally a train wreck on that level, and that before you get into the crazy pronoun stuff involved with it. Star Wars Outlaws making the list at number 8 is even more laughable, given that this title is yet to sell 2 million copies, has been an absolute public relations nightmare for Ubisoft. Furthermore, more, dropping Helldivers 2 all the way to number 10 behind Lego Horizons Adventures, a game that had an all-time peak of on Steam of 600 new players, is a blatant display of disrespect for developers and the player base. Helldivers 2, despite its controversies because of what Sony did with a couple of things, which were very, very questionable, the game is still very, very high quality, and a lot of people play it, and everybody really loves that franchise. Absolutely insane what Time Magazine is doing here. Most egregious, of course, Dragon Age The Veilguard at number 1. This title's from BioWare, the latest entry in Dragon Age franchise after a 10-year hiatus. It's been mocked and ridiculed by players far and wide for its heavy-handed use of things like pronouns, non-binary characters, top surgery scars, you can't make this up, and amateur storytelling. It failed so miserably at appealing to the mass audience that even the Game Awards only gave it 1 nomination in the accessibility category. Yes, the Game Awards have an accessibility category, likely due to the contracting of known accessibility consultant and trans representation enthusiast Laura Kate Dale. That's right. This is who's responsible for Dragon Age The Veilguard. You can't make it up when the blue hair. It's insane. Oh my gosh. They all look the same. It's really bizarre. So Richard Newby wrote for Time. First, hats off to what has to be the most advanced character creation system ever brought to video games. Here it is, guys. This is it, because the whole trans agenda was right apparent in this. This was the whole point of it. And of course, the media is shilling literally for the character generator system, not even for the game itself. It's possible to spend hours fine-tuning the look of your character, as everything from bone structure to tissue placement is considered from every angle, especially if you're a Troon. Oh my gosh. The character creator is also fully inclusive. See, even in the article, they go for it. Inclusive. Not only in terms of race, but also gender, in its inclusion of non-binary pronouns and flexibility with physical characteristics like hairstyles. Before the game even begins, there's an effort to make the Veilguard feel personal and truly put the gamer behind the character. Well, they're not actually putting gamers behind the characters. They're just putting their weird little identity pocket groups behind the characters. And this is exactly why Time Magazine's naming this as the best 20 of 2024. It's not because of the game. It's not because of the gameplay. Like the guy said, probably you could spend hours just like tooling around and making your character into a trans. And that's probably what this person did who made this list. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. They obviously didn't play the game whatsoever. And that's what they do. These people like tool around in character generators. They just sit there. They don't play video games, and that's it. Oh my gosh. There's nothing new. Access media outlets have been pushing this. Inverse recently put out an article calling Dragon Age's transgender game director Corinne Bush the ruler of RPGs, conqueror of haters. Yes, conqueror of all the haters. Corinne admitted this interview that his purpose was not to faithfully follow the established franchise and give longtime fans what they wanted, but rather use it as a tool to force his own personal beliefs into the series by reinventing it. And that's what they're doing all the way around. We have an incredibly diverse player base. And what I mean is that their motivations and expectations, Bush said, this becomes a biggest opportunity to continue the tradition of reinvention. And that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to push all these character generators. We've seen it with Avowed. We've seen it with attempts to be done with World of Warcraft as well. They want to put the transgender agenda in there and, of course, just try to manipulate gamers into a sense of complacency on this by having it everywhere so you can't get away from it. And that is how they push everything all the time. Now, I think this time naming this is absolutely atrocious. This is obviously a shill piece. And like I said, it's my opinion that this is probably paid for by BioWare itself because it doesn't make any sense in any real reality. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Sign up for the Fandom Pulse Substack. Don't miss any gaming news. And please enjoy some fantasy today on me for free. Get on my newsletter, my friends. And of course, we're just getting started. We're having so much fun building wonderful universes that you're going to love. If you like the original Dragon Age, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy my Von Monocle series. Grab it today for free. Thank you so much for being here.